You ever have one of those days where you think, wow, I guess even owning your own land isn't enough for some people? Yeah, that happened. Picture this. You're minding your own business, easing a flat-bottom boat onto your own lake. Lake you've paid taxes on, worked, sweated over, walked every inch since the day you signed that deed. And just as you're about to drift off into a peaceful morning of fishing, you look up to see two patrol cars pulling up like you're the villain in some backwoods crime drama. That was me. Name's Cornell Dupree, 46 years old, rancher in North Texas. I don't live in a mansion. I don't care about shiny things. My pride's in my land and that little piece of water tucked behind a patch of oaks. It's the kind of place you can lose yourself in. Just you and a rod and the sounds of the breeze through the grass. On this morning, the sun was barely up, heat just starting to shimmer off the tin boat, and I'm out there thinking about nothing but the next catfish, when suddenly, sirens start blaring. At first, I figure it's just the highway patrol screaming by, but then those lights will up to the subdivision Marina across the way. I spot a little crowd, phones pointed right at me, and front and center is Janice Kettering, president of the HOA, clipboard always pressed to her side like she's the sheriff in these parts. Janice doesn't own a square inch of this lake, but you wouldn't know it by the way she stands there, bossing people around. I hear a deputy holler, "Sir, we're going to need you to come in for a minute," and all I can think is, you've got to be kidding me. So I row over. Everyone's watching, some whispering, some filming, some just waiting for a show. Janice tells me loud enough for the whole county. That water belongs to the subdivision. You can't just use it like you own the place. Now, if you've ever had someone question whether you belong on your own property, you know it doesn't just sting, it burns. I say, this is my lake. My line runs straight through here. Got the paperwork to prove it. The deputy checks my ID, glances at Janice, and finally hands it back, saying, "Sir, if you've got the deed, you're within your rights." Janice bristles, mutters something, and stalks off. The crowd just kind of disperses, but the damage is done. That sense of peace I had is gone, replaced by the weight of a dozen eyes and the sting of humiliation. You know what I mean? That night, I didn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those flashing lights, heard those whispers, like maybe I didn't belong in my own backyard. Next morning, I'm staring at the lake through the kitchen window, coffee going cold. My wife, Sharon, sets down a plate of eggs and says gently, "You going back out there today?" I shake my head. "Not today. Not giving them another show." She says, "You did nothing wrong. That lake's ours. They made fools of themselves, not you." And I know she's right, but it still gets under your skin, especially when the video starts making the rounds. A week later, I'm in the hardware store loading feed into the truck when Franklin Yates, old-timer, been around here longer than the trees, comes up, says he heard about the mess at the lake. "Don't take it personal," he says. Janice likes to run her mouth. I tell him, "How am I supposed to take it? She called the cops on me on my own water." He shrugs, says, "Most folks just want peace and quiet. Don't mean they're all against you." That sticks with me. Maybe not everyone sees me as the outsider Janice wants them to. Still, to clear the air, I take my deed down to the sheriff's office. The deputy looks it over, says, "You're in the clear, Mr. Dupree. Sorry for the inconvenience." I tell him, this wasn't an inconvenience. This was humiliation. I was treated like I didn't belong. He tries to explain it away, but I'm not buying it. There's a difference between protecting your neighborhood and calling the law because you don't like who's fishing. From then on, it's like I'm walking around with a target on my back. At the grocery store, at church, even at the gas station, people have opinions. Some defend me, some side with Janice. There's a Facebook video now, comments flying. Why make a scene if you didn't have something to hide? Rules are rules. It's wild how fast folks decide who's right and who's wrong when they're not the one standing on the dock. One night, my daughter Leah calls from college. She's seen the video. "Dad, you handled yourself well. Don't let them take your dignity." I tell her, I'll remember that. But I'd be lying if I said the humiliation didn't eat at me, especially after I drive by the marina and see Janice out there like nothing ever happened, doling out orders. Then, a twist. At the feed store, two guys are talking about the marina. Turns out the HOA doesn't even own it. They lease it from some old guy in Gainesville. Suddenly, the wheels in my head start turning. If the marina's not theirs, maybe it could be mine. I go to the county clerk, dig up the paperwork, and sure enough, it's owned by Raymond Lockhart, who's a little behind on taxes and apparently tired of the hassle. I call my buddy Victor in real estate. Think Lockhart would sell. Victor shrugs. He's been looking to unload for years. It's a mess, but it's yours if you want it. I drive out to see Lockhart. He's old, sharp, not a pushover. We talk, hash out numbers. He's tired. I'm determined. He gives me 30 days to get the cash together. Deal, I say, and suddenly I've got a new project. Buying the very marina the HOA depends on to access the lake they tried to shut me out of. Word gets around. Janice finds out. Franklin laughs, says, "You should have seen her face." Now, I'm not petty. Okay, maybe just a little, but I don't buy the marina to lord it over folks. I keep the leases fair, fix up the docks, make it clear I'm not kicking anybody out. But Janice? She starts an email campaign, warns the whole subdivision I'm a threat to community stability. Next thing I know, there's a protest down at the marina, homemade signs, shouting, the works. She confronts me in front of the crowd, demanding answers, trying to rile everyone up. I just tell them the truth. The only thing that's changed is who you write the check to. I'm not here to run people off, but I won't be treated like a trespasser ever again. Some clap, some scowl. Janice storms off with her clipboard, and I know we've drawn our battle lines. At the next HOA meeting, Janice tries to paint me as some outsider come to take over. Franklin stands up for me, says, "Let the man speak." I do. I tell everyone. I didn't buy this place for revenge. I bought it because I could. Because dignity isn't something you let people steal from you. Lease terms stay fair. Respect goes both ways. Some neighbors warm up, some don't. But it's the first time they really listen. Janice tries one last time to trip me up, files a complaint with the county, tries to argue the sale. The county clerk laughs her right out the door. I get the official notice. The marina's mine, and there's not a thing she can do about it. So I get to work. I hire local guys to patch up the docks, put in new lights, repaint the boathouse. Families start showing up again. Kids chasing each other, people fishing off the piers, laughter where there was once shouting. A woman who yelled at me during the protest walks up and says, "Thank you. We were wrong about you." I just nod. I didn't do this to gloat. And Janice? Her power fades. Folks start questioning her, start seeing the difference between authority and leadership. I don't have to shout. I don't have to rub it in. I just keep working, running the marina like I do my ranch, steady, quiet, letting actions speak louder than words. One night, Franklin comes by, thanks me for keeping things steady. "You gave folks an example," he says. "Sometimes the best revenge is just doing right." I look out at the lake, the stars shining, and realize, for the first time since that morning with the sirens, I feel at peace. The humiliation's gone, replaced by something stronger. Proof that patience and principle can outlast noise and lies. So here's what I'll say to anyone who's ever felt pushed aside or humiliated on their own ground. Dignity doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from how you carry yourself when the world is watching. I didn't win by shouting the loudest or swinging the biggest stick. I won by showing up, doing right, and refusing to let someone else write my story. And if you're listening, I hope you'll share your thoughts below about what's fair, about respect, about what you'd do if you were in my boots. Maybe you've been there yourself. Maybe you're still fighting that fight. All I know is the only person who gets to decide your worth is you.